Ugh, I feel like shit. And I probably look like it too. But since I'm sick, I got to thinking, who are a few players that I'm sick of hearing about already this offseason? Let's talk about them. Hey, it doesn't matter what it is, this sickness is not keeping me away from Headliner Nation. So first up in this video is going to be Kyle Pitts, tight end out of Atlanta. If you're a Kyle Pitts truther and you're out there, you absolutely love him, and you're going to dog me in the comments. But some of you, I feel, are finally going to be a little weary. I mean, just listen to the stats over his first 2 seasons in the league. 1,382 receiving yards on 96 receptions and only 3 touchdowns, 2 of which came this past year. Now, he did miss a few games this season, but just to put this a little bit in context, let's talk about what Travis Kelce did just this season. He had 1,338 receiving yards on, you guessed it, over 100 receptions and 12 touchdowns. Now, you might be saying, Kyle, but Kyle Pitts isn't Travis Kelce, and I know that. I'm not saying he is. Y'all tried to say he was going to be. And now at the quarterback position, things aren't any more fluid than what they have been his first 2 years. Year 1, he had Matt Ryan. Year 2, he started with Marcus Mariota. And going into year 3, he's going to have Desmond Ridder. But do we trust Desmond Ridder? Do we really think that he's going to be a guy to get Kyle Pitts the ball consistently? Because some of y'all out there still think Kyle Pitts is a top 5 tight end. I mean, prior to getting hurt last year, he only had 2 games over 50 receiving yards. That was it. The rest of his 10 games were absolute garbage. I'm talking like single-digit fantasy points garbage. So heading into 2023 with Kyle Pitts, I think we need to finally take a step back and realize that yes, he is supremely talented, but he plays in a system that doesn't utilize him correctly, and we have questions at the quarterback position. Maybe this year we should be probably a little bit more realistic with his draft capital, and probably a little bit more realistic about what he could actually do in the NFL. And when we see it, then we'll pounce. This next guy isn't even in the NFL yet, and he's already bugging me. He's gonna be a heck of an NFL player. It's Bijan Robinson. I love the talent. The dude is gonna smash if he lands in the correct situation. Hopefully. Now, he might be a good enough NFL running back that regardless of what team he lands on, he's going to be successful. But what is going to be his limit in terms of fantasy upside? This is a league that gets their jollies off on having multiple big play running backs in their backfield. What if he goes to a team that already has a really solid, maybe 1A, 1B type player that's going to maybe take a lot of touches in the passing game, or maybe limit him at the beginning of the season? Talent normally ends up winning out, and this season we got spoiled by guys like Kenneth Walker. Breece Hall, before the injury, also ended up putting together a really successful run of fantasy games. But that doesn't mean that Bijan Robinson might not land in a situation where he has a really talented running back right next to him that doesn't get injured and plays all season long. So why am I sick about hearing about Bijan Robinson already? Because on some best ball sites, this guy is going as the running back 4. You heard that correctly. Not the RB4 in his class, not the RB4 in Dynasty, the RB4 in best ball for 2023. We don't even know where the guy's going to be playing yet. Let's pump the brakes on Robinson a little bit. I hope he lands in a smash spot, and I hope he's a guy that we are drafting in the first round. But let's just keep in mind, a little guy by the name of Clyde Edwards-Helaire, maybe he wasn't the same RB prospect coming out that Bijan Robinson is, but remember, this was a guy that was going top 5 overall the year that he was drafted by the Kansas City Chiefs. He burned a lot of people that year that drafted way too early. Don't do it to yourself. It's okay to be excited, but for 2023 drafts, why don't we stick for right now with things that we know, and then after the NFL draft, we'll readjust if we need to. This last player isn't just one person. It's a collective group. It's the top quarterbacks in the NFL. Mahomes, Allen, Hurts. Let's throw in Burrow, Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Justin Fields. Guys that you really think that you're going to get a ton of upside with, or you're going to get a ton of production on the ground to go along with whatever they do in the passing game. Now, here's why I'm sick about hearing about all the quarterbacks already. It's because some people out there are going to cause you all to go crazy in your drafts. Do you want to pick Mahomes, Hurts, or Allen in the second round of your fantasy leagues? Sure, why not? I don't care. Superflex leagues, obviously they're all going in the first round. I get why you want to do that. It's the rest of you out there that are going to panic draft quarterbacks because you see them start to go off the board so early. That's right, I absolutely guarantee it. In the second and third round, we are going to see a run on quarterbacks. We're going to see those top guys go off the board, maybe even the end of the first round, because people right now, they're not sold on the running back position again in 2023. There's some frustrations with that. And honestly, some of that frustration makes sense, but a lot of it has been blown out of proportion. And we'll explain why more this offseason. But you're going to see these quarterbacks go early, and then there's going to be people that are going to be sitting there watching the board going, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to get my quarterback. I got to get one now. And they're going to panic draft somebody that honestly, they could probably get in the 5th or 6th round and be just fine with. Don't panic draft quarterbacks this year. So many people in our comments are saying, this is my set in stone plan. I'm drafting Travis Kelce and I'm drafting my quarterback in the 1st and 2nd round. Newsflash, there's only one Travis Kelce in the league. So if you don't get Travis Kelce, is your backup plan really going to be a quarterback in the 1st? Are you so set in stone with that plan that you're not going to be able to maybe go with the flow a little bit and get yourself a really good value in the draft? It's very dangerous to set plans in stone this early and say, I'm sticking to it and I don't care what happens. You will lose your fantasy league doing that. So let's just pump the brakes on the quarterbacks a little bit. If you want to draft one early, go for it. If it's not one of the top guys though, maybe you should take a little bit of time and wait for them to fall. Don't watch what everybody else is doing and just blindly follow them. Be ready to make your own decisions. Leave a comment down below with a player that you're sick of hearing about and why. Hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you're new here. Stay safe and healthy. I know I'll try to, and I'll see you all in the next episode of the Fantasy Headliners.